Today I'll be reading Lost in Outer Space, Apollo 13. So this is my very creative cover with my Apollo 13 right there and the moon up here and my light up sparkling stars, which just give it that extra pop. Alright, so let's go. Lost in Outer Space, Apollo 13 by Warren Johnson. First page. 3, 2, 1, blast off. And Apollo 13 is off the ground, heading to the moon. So this is my Apollo 13 with this little fire heading up into space. A beautiful sky. Off of its landing site, just going up. It is on a very flat plane so that it doesn't damage any objects around it. And yeah, page 2. 3 brave astronauts are going to the moon. Jim Lovell, Fred Haise, and Jack Spurgeon. And this is Jim Lovell in the spacecraft breaking out of Earth's atmosphere in their spacecraft and going to the moon. Page 3. Houston, we have a problem. The ship isn't working properly, says one of the astronauts. So there's parts flying out all over the place off of the spacecraft because Jim Lovell could see some parts flying in outer space and was very concerned and reported it to Houston. Page 4. The news station is reporting that Apollo 13 is having problems. It appears that they are losing oxygen, and the spacecraft is losing oxygen. So I made a spacecraft, which is the Apollo 13, losing oxygen, which Lovell could see out of his window as well, like the page before, and he could see oxygen going out of the spacecraft and leaking it into space. And this is the moon. Beep, beep, beep. It looks like we have a power failure. The astronauts will head back to Earth. So this is Apollo 13, and it's losing power, and it's about to head back to Earth off of NASA's orders. Page 6. Because of the problems they had in space, Jim Lovell's family thought they weren't going to see him again. So this is Jim Lovell's daughter, which took it the hardest, in her living room listening to the news station about what is happening to her father. Page 7. At about 11:55 on Friday, April 17, 1970, Apollo 13 will come back to Earth's atmosphere at around 24,600 miles per hour. So this is my Earth and the Apollo 13 heading back to Earth at apparently 24,600 miles per hour. So, yeah. And my very cool flag, which gives them a little pop on where it's supposed to be and where it's supposed to go. And yeah. On the way back to Earth, they separated the halves of the spacecraft and saw that one side of the ship was gone. So this is the ship that they separated from and sent it back into space. This is the ship that is going to take them down to Earth, into Earth's atmosphere, into the ocean. And this is the ship, and half of it is missing because they had some very difficult times up there and some damage done, and that is not safe for them to go to the moon, which is disappointing, but is sometimes hard, and just gotta let it happen. Touchdown. The Apollo 13 has landed in the Pacific Ocean's welcoming waters. So this is the sun and the beautiful Pacific Ocean and its welcoming waters, and the 3 parachutes that safely brought the spacecraft back down to Earth. Lovell's family was waiting for him with great excitement and grateful arms. So this is Jim Lovell's family, the crowd behind them all cheering, and Jim Lovell there, our main character, and his family was obviously very excited to see him after what had happened. I hope you liked my story. That's the end of Lost in Outer Space, Apollo 13, and bye.